it's Liz here, lying down. I wasn't sure really whether to do a video or not, but I thought, why not? I suppose I don't know whether it's going to help me or you, hopefully you more, but it's addressing, I can't even speak, addressing the issue of anxiety with your health, not just general anxiety. So like I've never had like anxiety issues or panic. Well, I've had panicky type issues because they stem from when I had a car accident in 2012 and it was someone else's fault. I was then like, I couldn't be a passenger in someone else's car for so long, like years, like at least 2 or 3 years. And if I was, I would hyperventilate. I'd get really panicky because I was scared that someone was going to crash into us. Not really, it wasn't really the driver of the car I was in I was scared of. So yeah, and if I was driving my own car I was fine, but for the first year or so I was still quite jittery and nervous, and so I got a dash cam which has really helped, knowing that if anything was to happen, at least then it could be proved. Because the accident I was in, the woman who crashed into me denied all, like, basically blamed me, but then we ended up having to settle 50-50 because my car was a write-off, hers wasn't. She had a tiny dent, but the whole front of my car fell off because she went into me, and yeah, it was horrible. And it took so long to get sorted that I was without a car, and I was just like, I just need a new car, but I couldn't get one until the money had come through from the insurance and stuff. So it was just, yeah. So I've not really had any problems since then, but it's weird because this weekend I'm going, hopefully, to London. I won a competition, because I write and compose music, and I've been doing that for years and years, since school, and then I kind of stopped doing it for quite a long time. When I lived in London, I kind of did it a bit, but I didn't really have time much. And when I met Adam, I don't know, I just stopped doing it for a while. And then I entered a song into a competition last month, and it was just the lyrics, and I won, along with I think 7 others or 8 others, I'm not sure, I think it's 7 others. And the prize is to go to London for this Saturday and Sunday to do a workshop with this girl who basically is a songwriter, and she has her own stuff, but she also writes for other people. She's written for Little Mix and Jess Glynn and Tiny Temper and other people, I don't know who else. But the main issue I'm having with my anxiety is that I haven't been away for this long without Adam, like, ever. Like, well, actually, since we moved in together. Before that, we'd have a week apart, we'd speak all the time, and I was living with my parents. But it's just really weird because I've been away 2 nights, back in February this year when I went to Birmingham for my Juice Plus conference. But I think I was more relaxed because the whole weekend was very casual. Like, you didn't have to attend every single event and every single talk, and I was really close to my hotel, and I could go back anytime and chill. And it was very, like, you know, you could do what you wanted if you really wanted to. But this weekend, it's very, like, I suppose I don't know what to expect. Like, being away from Adam is, like, hard anyway, because, like, with my health being so bad in the last few months, it's like, he's my rock, he's never that far away, and that kind of thing. But at the same time, I can always talk to him on the phone and FaceTime him and stuff, and I'm getting teary now talking about it. But I think it's more like, there's 2 things. There's frustration is one, and anxiety is 2. So frustration is that my health has obviously got a lot worse since my operation on my sinuses, because as you can hear, I'm very nasally. And I've been like that for weeks now. Like the first month of my recovery, I was fine. And now my sinuses are getting blocked again. And every day I'm croaky, nasally, horrible all day. And the surgeon doesn't seem that fussy. He's like, oh, it's just allergies. But I've had this since last October. There's no hay fever in October all throughout Christmas. Um, and he doesn't seem that fussed about fixing it. And I'm like, I'm really struggling with it. And something needs to be done. My septum is fine. I don't have any sinus pain. It's just my nose is draining into my throat. And so I'm coughing up like huge amounts of mucus all day. And sometimes it's got blood in it. And it's just not nice. And they've done all tests. They've done sputum tests. They've done blood tests, you know. And there's nothing like in that. But also with my pain levels have been like bad, and the pain clinic are just being really rubbish, and basically like, oh, you need to go on your education morning. But I've done a 3-week rehab thing, so I really don't feel that that's going to help at all. And then with my stomach tablets are still giving me horrific diarrhea. I've cut right down to the lowest dose. Now my doctor said I've got to half that dose again when I do take it. But the trouble is, it just gives me diarrhea all day, and it just makes me feel wiped out. But if I stop taking it, then my stomach stops working, and I basically I get blocked up, and then I end up in hospital. So it's like there's no There's no easy situation. There's no answer really. So there's all that going on, and then I'm getting nervous and anxious, and I was excited yesterday, but I'm not at all excited about it, which seems really weird, because this is my dream job, is to write for film and TV and for other people, but I don't like writing with other people, like collaborating with other people. And the competition was initially advertised as a workshop with this girl for the weekend, and I was like, that's cool. But basically, they've now extended, so Sunday we don't finish till 8 o'clock in the evening, we start at 10. And for me, like when I'm at home, I can sit up for that length of time, but I have to keep getting up. I have to lie down because I get terrible chest pain. And I'm not going to be able to do that as much. People have said since, you can, go home whenever you want, which is true. And I could go back to the hotel if I needed to, but it's like a 15-minute, I was going to say walk, but roll for me, because I'll be in my wheelchair. Access, I think is okay. I've kind of checked on that, so that's all fine. But it's more like, I feel a bit like duped, like the competition's supposed to be learning how to get into the music industry and getting hints and tips, but now it's like you do get that, but at the last hour on Sunday, and that's it. And during the day on both Saturday and Sunday, basically you are put into groups and chucked into a room to collaborate and write together. And I'm not a performer. I've checked out the people who are going on this with me on Facebook, because they're all in the competition thing, and they're all performers. They're all like singer-songwriters, and I'm like, that is my worst nightmare, because I used to play the piano and sing, and now I just play the piano and write stuff that way, and then basically put it into a music program to turn it into other instruments and do everything digitally. Because since my operation, I've lost my singing voice completely. Like, I can't sing at all. I'm so croaky. I sound like I'm being strangled, and I can't breathe either. And it's like, I don't. If I write stuff and people want to perform it, that's fine. But I know that the majority of people there are going to want the same thing. And I suppose if they want a piano in their music, then I can fulfill that, hopefully. But then it's on about like recording stuff, and I'm like, I wasn't aware we were going to be recording, and I like a routine. I like to know what's happening. And then it's like, oh, you'll get lunch at 1 and you'll have a break for that. Now they're saying that lunch will be served anytime between 1 and 4. And I'm like, I have a routine. I have to eat at certain times of the day, because because of my stomach problems, and I have to have my tablets at certain times. And we don't finish till 6. On the Sunday, we don't finish till 8. And the trouble is, like, the best part of the day is those last few hours where she gives advice and stuff. And, like, we're not going to have time for dinner. And I need to eat before, like, 6 o'clock because otherwise my stomach just, doesn't work very well. I feel sick. And I'm panicking because I can't control that situation. I can't be like, oh, I'm going out for lunch now for an hour. Or, oh, and it's also interacting with other people because in the past when I've done these kind of things, I've not had my health issues. I've not been in my wheelchair or anything. So we're talking at least 10 years. And it's like, I'm worried. I'm not worried about what people think of my wheelchair and me in the wheelchair because I'm never, ever worried about that. It's their issue if they want to worry about that. But it's the whole understanding my health problems, and I don't want to make it an issue, but for me it is an issue because I'm not feeling great, like, health-wise anyway. Yeah, and I'm just so panicking. Like, yesterday morning I was like really bad, then I was fine for the rest of yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And then this morning I've just been so upset. I've been really anxious to the point that I want to cancel it, and I'm like, I'm in a mixed mind because I have to cancel it in the next half hour if I'm going to cancel it, because my hotel will charge me otherwise. Because I have to go down today as well. That's the other thing, because it was originally supposed to start at 9:30, and I was like, there's no way I could leave here because it takes like 2 hours to get there from where I live. And I was like, I can't get up that early because my body just won't function, and I've got to drive myself there. Usually if I get up that early I get Adam to drive, but he can't come with me. He has to work tomorrow and he's doing some other stuff on Sunday, and I would feel bad because, like, he probably would be allowed to come, but I just think he'd be so bored, and where the thing is, there's nothing else for him to do. So I'm just really, like, freaking out because I won't have Adam with me. I have no control over what's happening, and if I do leave, then the best bit of it is supposed to be Sunday, and I'm like, but then I don't want to miss out because this is, like, massive for me. This is, like, a huge opportunity, and I will always regret not going if, say, one of the people that was there suddenly becomes famous, or, they get extra stuff or whatever, and the studios are amazing. So I know there's more benefits than there is, like, this is why I think this video might help me just personally. So, but the anxiety is weird because I know people with anxiety and, they won't go out. It's that bad. I mean, I'm fine going out to, like, new places if it's not that far away, or if it's just for the day, or if Adam's with me. But Adam is not with me, and it's for 3 days, and there's so many things that aren't very clear, and it's interesting because the people who are organising it are First Direct, the bank, and Mobo's, and it's like they, you say you're in a wheelchair or you're, disabled, and they just assume that's it. Like, they don't have no idea, like, the needs. Because I've been to places and they've been like, yeah, we have disabled access, but, like, only to rooms. So I've gone places where there's, like, 3 steps down into the restaurant. I'm like, well, I can't actually eat here. And, and they're like, oh, well, you can carry the chair. And, like, no, you can't carry my chair. My chair is huge. My chair is, like, 130, 140 kilograms. Then you got me in it too. And, like, anyone was to lift my chair and drop it, then I would be, I'd be screwed because I wouldn't be able to go anywhere, but I'd also be fuming. So I'm just like, I'm more leaning towards going now, but I'm still really anxious, and it's a weird thing because it's almost like an emotion you can't control. Like, and also it doesn't help that I came off the contraceptive pill 2 weeks ago because I've been on it 5 years, and when I was put on it by my doctor before, my old GP, she said you can only be on it for a maximum of 5 years because then you've got risk of, like, ovarian cancer and stuff, and plus, like, maybe next year we're thinking about having kids and stuff. And I know it takes a long time for your body to readjust, you know, back to how it was, and hormones and getting your periods back and stuff. And for me, obviously, the hormone side of it is really like a shock, because I've had no mood swings, I've had no that kind of stuff for 5 years, and now all of a sudden I'm a complete hot mess because one minute I'm fine, the next minute I'm sobbing, and it's like, and the trouble is, the more worried and anxious you get, it causes physical symptoms. And obviously, the more I cry, the more I get blocked up, and the worse my nose gets, and the worse my sinus gets. And I'm just like, it's like, is it worth my health spending 3 days in London for me to suffer for weeks and weeks afterwards? But I don't know. Will I regret not going? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. So frustrating. Because as well, with being this like chronically ill, I miss out on so much stuff which is out of my control. Like, if I've been in hospital, I've missed out on concerts. I've missed out on like going on holiday. Like, we obviously cancelled our honeymoon because of my sinuses. And yeah, and it's like, it could be my future. It could be, because obviously I can't have a full-time job. I can't work. And songwriting from home is like a huge like advantage, because I could do it. But I'm just like thinking, well, what if nothing comes of this? And, you know, I've wasted my weekend feeling anxious and upset and all of these things, when I didn't need to go through it all. But then if I have missed out, I've missed out. So it's like, I literally, I do not know what to do, and I've got to make a decision, like, now. It's so frustrating. If I do go, like, I know I'm going to have to go to the supermarket to buy food, because the place I'm going to doesn't really have, well, there's also obviously the thing of, I've got such a restricted diet that, you know, if they provide stuff that I can't eat, then I've got to go and find something to eat. And it's like, I think I have to go. I have to go and at least try. And then if I get to the place and, you know, I'm panicking so much that I have to come home, then I have to come home. But if I work with these people and they're nice and it works out well, then that's great. But if it doesn't work out, I can always come home. It's just the long day. I can't do anything about this stupid long day. Ugh. And the trouble is, it's not the kind of thing you're even like, yeah, I'm leaving early, because you're writing with other people. So I will miss out on stuff if I do leave early. Oh my God. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to do. I physically don't know what to do. I'm absolutely... But this is anxiety for you, so if I do end up going, I'll make a separate video about my time in London and my journey and stuff. Otherwise, if I don't, then you'll know I haven't gone. So, there you go.